Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. It is match preview time, which only means one thing: the international break is finally over. Yes.
In.
But I do say that with a but because yeah, for once Scotland actually had a pretty good international window, drawing 0-0 in Copenhagen against Denmark and then beating Belarus 2-0. So yeah, 4 points so far. So we all know it goes downhill from here. But anyway, we're not here to talk about international football. Delighted to say that I've been joined by a very, very special guest. We have been joined by Dan from turfmoorhousetv, and we were just saying off air, it's been a long, long time since you were on this channel. I was obviously on yours last night, but welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me. It has been far, far, far too long. Um, I, it's that long ago that when you can't remember back. Like usually you can remember
Yeah.
it. Oh, it was last season we spoke or so. It's been one of those. But no, I'm so glad to be back. So glad to be chatting away and talking some proper football.
Absolutely, yes. It's going to be a very interesting game because I was watching Scott Parker's press conference, and one of the journalists said he's never lost at Turf Moor.
No, we are unbeaten at Turf Moor under Scott Parker. Oh well, I mean we lost to Lazio in a pre-season friendly, but that don't count.
Nah, no, no. I think it basically means sort of league form.
Yeah, no, we
Anyway, so yeah,
remained unbeaten at the turf last season, so all's good.
fair play, fair play. Guys, get your comments in the as well. I will get into your live chat. Hello, Shono. Hit that like button, folks. As Shono said, absolutely. Shauna's going Burnley 0, Liverpool 3. Ekitike with 2. Isak comes on and scores the third. You heard it here first. We shall see. We shall see. And big up John Comey. Big up Douglas Dan. Nice to see Burnley back in the Premier League. It certainly is. It certainly is. So yeah, we'll speak about Burnley. 3 games played, 3 points. Obviously, the game against Sunderland, you won 2-0, which was very, very good. And then you lost. Started the season, you obviously lost 3-0 at Tottenham. Things could have been a little bit differently had obviously you got a penalty, etc. as well. And then yeah, that Manchester United game where you lost to a very dubious penalty, and I was just thinking, welcome back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
The Championship didn't have VAR or anything like that, but yeah, how have you felt the first 3 games have gone so far?
I was quite happy with the way we set up against Spurs. I was a little bit sceptical because we've swapped the formation around. We've gone with a back five in that opening fixture, and obviously, when you're always known as a side that sets up 4-4-2, rugged, low block, you start to think, hold on a minute. So Scott Parker's clearly been working on other formations, tactics, ways of trying to break down the opposition, which is great because that's what
Yeah.
we've always wanted. You need that plan B, plan C. So that it was good to see, and I thought we actually gave a really good account of ourselves against Spurs. To say it was the first game back, the other two promoted sides played at home, got themselves points on the board. So I wasn't too much. I didn't really have too much to grumble about the loss. So and I can't take it away. Richarlison's goal was phenomenal. So goal of the season contender up there already on the first game of the season was a bit of a sickener. But other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, obviously knowing that Sunderland were up next, we knew that we have to make Turf Moor a fortress. We have to make sure that we beat the teams that you expected to be in and around you. So them coming to us on the back of a 3-0 win as well, they must have been full of absolutely brimming with confidence. But we just, kept quiet and did what we had to do. First half, I'd say Sunderland probably shaded it in terms of possession and were a little bit better. But second half, I don't even know where did Sunderland even come out second half. They didn't have a shot on target. They had nothing. They were pretty poor, and
Mm.
we managed to capitalise on that. I've got to say that the Jaden Anthony goal was brilliant. I mean, a beautiful pass from Josh Cullen. to play Jadon Anthony in, and all he has to do is take it round the keeper and finish the move off. So yeah, it was good to get that 3-0 because I think it's the first time that all three promoted sides have got 3 points before something like November. I think it was November last time 3 promoted sides had
It
points.
was. It
It's
was.
ridiculous. But
Yeah.
we managed to get something out of that game, and then we sort of went into the United fit. Well, I say that we obviously had the cup game, but we beat Derby, so it is what it is. Yeah, we went into the United game full of confidence, thinking, we always seem to have a good game at Old Trafford. It always seems that the players are up for it, and yeah, I thought we were due diligent. We stuck to the task. We worked man for man. We didn't look like we were shaky when we lost possession. If anything, we actually rattled Manchester United, and I think you could see that in some of the replays where you've got Bruno Fernandes practically looking like he's, if we whammed him up a little bit more, we could have been looking at getting him sent off. Although the
Yeah.
referee that day probably wouldn't, because he was practically wearing, I don't know, a shirt sponsored by Ineos underneath. But it's one of them where dubious decisions, like you say, cost us in that game. Lyle Foster offside, my arse. It should have stood. I don't understand how this, this leaves a bit
Yeah.
out of me, but obviously the one on Lyle Foster wasn't. And the fact that United play his arms off as well, it's ridiculous. The free kick for their first goal shouldn't have been a free kick. Otherwise, Kyle Walker should have been booked for the actual challenge, because the challenge was deemed to be done with malice, but he got the ball.
Yeah.
And then obviously the penalty. I will say now that it definitely was a penalty, because Jadon Anthony shouldn't have done that. But it is still a cheap penalty to give away. I don't know how someone
Yeah.
can pull somebody's top this way and a player go that way, and go down like he did as well, like he'd been shot. So it was it was just typical, and I think a lot of Reds fans will say the same thing as well, that it's just typical plucky United, that something always goes their way, and especially after the hoodoo against Grimsby, literally not even 4 days before that game, it was expected that Man United were going to come all out and be like, "Oh well, we need 12 men to beat Burnley if we can't beat Grimsby with 11." So yeah, that said, I'm very happy with the first 3 games of the season. I know it's only 3 points, but we've given and shown that we're not just here to be the whipping boys like we were under Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, 100%. And I find, the sort of the style of play you're playing as well. Like, we all remember sort of, the Sean Dyche days of like you being very, very rugged, very, very physical. But I really like the way you guys are playing. You've got a really nice sort of flow into your passing movement. Um, and actually, if you think about it, on Sunday, got probably 2 of the best passing sides in the league
Yeah,
on Sunday. So it should be a really interesting game for sure.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge. Like we said yesterday, that we need to capitalise on putting our chances away when given the opportunities. We've seen the likes of Bournemouth do it against yourselves, like say Palace in
Yeah.
the Community Shield, etc. And it's and the Newcastle game. They've been games that you've got that attacking intent that Liverpool have always had, but you've now got one of the meanest attacking, bundle of players really in the Premier League right now. I mean, one gets injured, it's fine. We've got somebody else that can step in that's equally as good. So, and it's what Liverpool's been screaming out for, because they've always had somebody like just that, your main outlet, really, like your Suarez or someone in there that. But it's nice that you've now got that attacking intent going forward, and I think it's going to hurt us, and we need to be resilient and strong at the back. But with how much you push and the high line, the aging of Van Dijk and Kanate loving to drop clangers since 6 months ago. We need to capitalise on them mistakes, and it's. I just hope we can. I hope we can. Being at home, I'd like to think that we've got that urgency to try and kill you off in those moments. And who knows, if we can keep the ball out the net the other side, it'll make for a happy weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very intriguing affair. Let me go back into the chat 'cause I did see our Leicester City friend Rennie. Hello, Rennie. How are you? I hope you're doing very, very well. Hey, Douglas and Dan. How are you? Rennie says my prediction is 3 or 4 for Liverpool against Burnley. I'm sorry, Dan.
That wouldn't
I
surprise.
am taking this with a pinch of salt. It is just the first game after the international break as well.
Yeah.
So we don't know what sort of mindset the players will be in. But I was looking at your injury list. I think there's only 2 players I think I read that are out at the moment, and that's Jordan Bayer and Roberts. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Roberts has been back on the grass today.
Right.
So I still don't think he'll be quite up to Premier League scratch. He's not really played anything pre-season, so would not surprise me if he's involved with, we always chuck an over 21 player in the under 21s for fitness and things like that. It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if that's something that happens with Connor Roberts. Jordan Bayer is going to be out for at least. I really feel for Jordan Bayer because he was that one player that we signed on loan under company, and
Yeah.
I expected him to really shine, and he got that horrible injury. He was out for all of last season. Trained in pre-season. We all thought, yes, Bayer's back. We're going to have Bayer and Esteve. This could be phenomenal. And then something happened in training, I think, and he took a knock, and it's put him back. So it's just now it's looking like it's going to be end of November, maybe Christmas before we see him, which is a shame because I think he's got so much talent. But I think we've got some good players in to, fight for those places as well.
Yeah, let's talk about your transfer window. Been a busy one. No few players obviously went out, but a lot came in. What did you make of your transfer window?
I mean, we'd already sort of got 4 through the door, which we knew were going to come in on permanence based on promotion anyway. So that was the likes
Yeah.
of, Marcus Edwards, Jadon Anthony, Bashir Humphries, and Zian Fleming. And I was happy that we did that, especially like I said, under company, we only shared up 1 loan player. I wanted Taylor Harwood-Bellis. I wanted Nathan Teller. Jesus, I cried when the window was shut, knowing it's another window gone that Nathan Teller's not back in claret and blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't just fall in love with a loan player. I stalked that son of a beep. But no, I've got to be happy with what we've done and the money we've spent as well. I think in today's market, you'd be looking to pick a gem up for $1 million. I think 5 million's the average going rate for a semi-decent championship player these days. Like I say, you can't just pick up someone and turn them good. You're not going to find a Tim Cahill from Millwall to Everton or a Jamie Vardy to Leicester. It's very rare that that's going to happen. So you have to pay the money for these players. And I'm happy that we have done, like I say, keeping hold of Maxime Esteve when he was linked with a move to Spurs, tying him down to a 5-year contract, 0, release clauses in any of the players' contracts is another move that the club have done, which I'm so happy about. But for me, I think when I look back at the one that we didn't even mention him yesterday, to be fair, but I really massively rate Quillinchi Hartman, the left back. I think he's absolutely phenomenal, and he's one of those that I got excited like a kid at Christmas when we signed him because I always signed him for Burnley on Football Manager. So it was almost like I already knew this was going to happen 4 bloody years ago. So I was very, very happy. Like I said, you've brought in Kyle Walker, you've lost your captain in Josh Brownhill, who was a good source of our goals last year as well.
Yeah,
And to bring the leadership qualities of Kyle Walker, we've not given him the captaincy, but the thing is with Kyle Walker, he will still lead on that pitch. That's what you need
yeah,
in a team. You need people that are gonna, I want you to orchestrate that defense. When you're telling people that need to push up with you, that's what they need. It needs to be done. Kyle Walker's a phenomenal piece of business for us, and depending on what happens this season, 5 million is an absolute steal. Martin
yeah,
Dubravka on a free transfer that isn't getting game time, keeping 2 clean sheets in World Cup qualifiers this week. It's just it's ridiculous, and I don't remember these. I never used to remember Burnley signing a foreign player. I think Maxwell Cornet came. Well, before Cornet, there was Stephen Defoe, and then he
yeah,
was glass ankles, so we didn't see much of him. But when he did play, he just shone brilliantly. Maxwell Cornet was. I was like, wow, we've got a player that knows what a pocket of space looks like, and will run into it and give us another option. So now that we've actually got this quartet of stars that have come in from abroad, I'm very, very happy with that. And like I say, transfer deadline day, being able to bring in Florentino Luis from Benfica, straight from under the nose of Everton as well, which you guys will be happy to know because then they lose out. But yeah, I'm just over the moon. I'd give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. I think the only grumble I would have is potentially signing another right back,
Hmm.
because I think we have been
Is
playing
right back
Kyle
a
Walker as a
problem?
right centre back.
Yeah, is right back a problem? Because I watched that Manchester United game back, and most of that game they looked like they were targeting Kyle Walker's side. Is that a wee bit of concern for Sunday?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think obviously we've played Oliver Son in that position, and
Hmm.
we signed him 2 years ago. We've never seen him kick a ball for Burnley. Now all of a sudden he's a Premier League starter, and it's like, okay, fair enough. Not going to grumble as long as he does a job. And we've been playing Kyle Walker more as a right centre back. Now, I
Mm.
don't know, which I find strange because I know as a player he's probably lost a little bit of the pace. And we're not wanting a Patrice ever who's going to blow out of his arse by running forward and can't be arsed coming back. So it could be a great tactical way of looking at things, especially in a back five or a back three, which we played against Manchester United to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that with Connor Roberts injured, who else drops in at right back? And for me, that's the main question when we've loaned out Sharande Sambo back to Sparta Rotterdam. So
Mm.
we are short in that position. I know Kyle Walker could be put there, but that for me is where, honestly, I think you guys probably will be targeting.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just something that sort of came up to me. Just came up on that, and yeah, it was it was just something I just kind of noticed, and I thought, okay, so whoever's on the left, it'll probably be about Gakpo. Gakpo against Walker will be a very very interesting matchup, and then obviously, if Gakpo does get subbed, then obviously you've got Mister Ingo Moore potentially to deal with as well. So yeah, Carl Walker's going to have a very interesting day, I think, on Sunday. Something interesting as well that came from Parker's press conference. He said that the squad's too big. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think he's used to working with a lot smaller squads, and under Vincent Company, we had a massive squad. I think when you look at it, half of the players he brought in didn't even play. I'm talking the players like Samuel Bastian, Darko
Yeah,
Cherlinov. These players that I'm mentioning that sound like Wi-Fi passwords that didn't get any game time at all. And all we did was loan them out. So we needed to strip the squad massively,
yeah,
and the club have actually said that they wish they'd have stripped it a bit more but there were certain deals that didn't come about. I mean, losing Manuel Benson to Swansea on loan, it'll be good to get him some game time, but
Yeah.
that were done last minute because I believe he was set to join Celtic. Somebody from Celtic was set to go somewhere else. Then that deal fell through, so then Benson didn't go to Celtic, and then he ended up going to Wales. So he'd been up and down the country on deadline days. This poor lad.
Get me bloody tired.
Exactly, especially when he's not been playing much as well, and he's having to rush around like no tomorrow. But no, we needed to strip it more. There's a lot of not dead wood, but players that could have had loan moves if we weren't going to ship them out, permanently. I just hope that maybe next season, or January even, there could be a few that go. The one positive I do have is that we have managed to loan out quite a good bulk of under-21s players. And for me, that's a positive because they're getting a lot of the proper football into the system. And it all spells good for the future going forward.
That's interesting. You said Manuel Benson was potentially going to Celtic. I mean, Celtic have had an absolute disaster of a window. I think it's quite safe to say that they signed Brendan Rodgers' old mate Kelechi Iheanacho on deadline day as a free agent. That's not going to whet up the appetite of Celtic fans. Let me just say that. But
definitely.
Poor Manuel Benson. It's just like he's potentially going to Celtic. Oh, going to go get a car down to Glasgow. Oh no, that move's fallen through. Now you've got to go all the way down to South Wales. It's like honestly, you would have slept very, very well that night. I think it.
I would have.
That's the joys of deadline day, isn't it?
I'd have slept on the journey. Put it that way.
That is the joys of deadline day as well. But let's go into the chat again. Shono, hello. Hey folks, hope you're all well. Not doing too bad, my friend. Hello Julio, hello, hope you're well, Julio. It's a real shame though, if it's the days where a team that's in the bottom half could sign the fourth choice striker from one of the top clubs and he'd bang in the goals and it's enough. Yeah. You do miss those days, and as Sean says, those days are gone, unfortunately, Julio. Like Sunderland survived on the skin of their teeth in 2009, signed Darren Bent, who was unwanted at Spurs, and finished 10th the next season. Yeah. Crazy. Wouldn't get much of 5 million nowadays. Yeah, rarity, absolute rarity. This was the only transfer window I was excited about. To be honest with you, I was as well. I'm one of these people that gets not sort of drawn into sort of transfer rumors. I'm sort of a person that's sort of like basically wait until like they've like signed the contract and obviously lift the shirt, lift the scarf, etc.
Yeah.
But you can't blame me for being so engrossed in this transfer window. We'll obviously come on to Liverpool shortly. Lyle's on. Hello, Lyle. Let's go Reds and never walk alone. It'd be interesting to see how they will work with Hugo and Alex when he's match fit. Can they play together? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we? We will soon find out. Your lovely missus is in. Hello, Kate. Hello, can't really stop because I have the list of things to do the size of my arm, but I hope you're well done. I am not doing too badly, my friend. Hope you're.
And I hope you get them done as well.
Liverpool are playing 4-4-3 attack, Rennie. I'll definitely say that. If City manager Pep gets sacked, just imagine company. I'm not so sure. I can
understand why. That's probably why the Bayern Munich move came about, because I think Pep probably said something to Bayern Munich that he'll have a good philosophy. I think it would be an easy, simple transition to the City job. But what do I know? City could go in an absolutely different route.
Yeah, they could well do it. They could well do it. But no, I think it's unheard of if Pep was to get sacked from anywhere. To be honest with you, I just can't see it. I actually have it's not really a theory, but what I will say is I have a theory that potentially something maybe happens in January where if they're well off the pace at the top of the league, then I think he might do maybe a Klopp and come out and say enough's enough and leaving. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me because I think he looks. He's not the same Pep. Let me
No,
just say that he's definitely not the same Pep. So I think
he's trying to rebuild a project that's either going to work or it's not. It's the thing is with City, they need that rebuild project to bear fruits straight away, not take 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely. Sebastian's in as well. Hello, Sebastian. Isaac only played 18 minutes for Sweden. Was the player who did the most danger. So hopefully he gets much more minutes because he can change the whole game when he plays. He is that good of a player. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Sebastian is Swedish, of course. So no, thank you very much for that input, Sebastian. Dangerman on Sunday. Who would you say is your main danger to look out for on Sunday?
You know, I'd say he's unsung, and I'm going to give it to our captain, Josh Cullen. I think he just goes around orchestrating that midfield pretty well. You know, our wingers will do a job that they have to do, but he's very box to box. He tries to get forward. He can pick out a pass on a first touch. There's just something about him that he's grown and elevated so much as a player over the last 2 seasons. So I hope that he'll be the difference to unlocking the defense if we've got the right players just ready to springboard on the back of, you know, your high line.
Yeah, and I was looking at obviously like some players in your side. Obviously, Broja is an interesting one.
I didn't want
now
him.
we obviously had you didn't want him.
I didn't want him. I thought after the signing of Broja and Leslie Ugachukwu, both from Chelsea, you know, together the fees for them both it's record fees for what we did, and Broja's record isn't great. Now, Chelsea fans kept saying he just needs a run of games. He needs the love. He needs loving. He needs that support. But I don't know. Even Southampton fans kept saying good luck, and they've probably seen the best of him. Everton fans were just like short straw there. I just thought for the amount of money that was out there, we could have got that was put on the table to Chelsea. We could have found somebody else. Now I'm prepared to be wrong. You know, I want to be proven wrong. I hope he comes out, fires on all cylinders, is an absolute workhorse, has an injury-free season, and does so well that I will not literally eat my hat, but I will eat my hat. I want that success. I just don't think it's going to come. It was a huge risk. You know, when you look at the injury record, his goal scoring record isn't great. I think 8 over his career, he's got something like 18 goals. And he's been playing football for 6-7 years. Well, 6 or 7 seasons. That's worrying. And like I say, it is a massive risk, but I want it to pay off. Albanians love him. You know, I won't lie. As soon as we were linked, I think every Albanian fan started following anybody Twitter account, and I was like, okay, what's all this about? And that's the only way I found out we're signing Broja, because all of a sudden I've got a load of Albanian fan groups following me, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, he'll do wonders for you," and I'm like, "I've not said anything," and then I'm like, "What?" So yeah, a real strange one was Armando Broja. But like I said, for Albania, he was being played on the left. It's, you know, he weren't being played up front, and I dare say it, when he played in the game against Derby in the cup, he looked like he couldn't be arsed. So the judgment is still out on Broja. I don't know whether it's one of those where if he gets picked on Sunday, the game's on Sky, the eyes of the world are watching, he's going to have the freaking game of his life or something. but he should be putting that performance in every day of the week. That's why you pay a lots of money, especially a club our size. Willing to take that risk. You should be willing to die for the shirt, no matter what. But I want him to do well. I just don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't help as well when your sort of international manager is playing you out on the wing. I've never known Armando Broja to be a winger. I've always known him to be sort of that striker to like put the ball in the back of the net. But
He strikes me
as
with
you're
Callum
saying,
Wilson. He strikes me with Callum Wilson, where he doesn't have to do much, but if he gets in the right places, he just always seems to be there. And I think that's the sort of player we want. We want somebody like that. We've just got to get into the right places to give him that, and he's got to be on the team sheet. And until, like I say, we see it, time will tell.
Yeah, it's team selection will be very, very intriguing the weekend. I suppose it's time to obviously speak about Liverpool. Obviously 3 wins from 3, 9 points from 9 games, which is excellent. But Dan will be a bit buoyed on by the fact that this day last year, 14th of September, after an international break, Liverpool lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. So yeah, and obviously that was Nuno's Forest, and now it's Big Ange's Forest, which still seems very strange to say the very, very least. Sort of as an outsider looking in on Liverpool, what have you made of us this season so far?
I think you've been brilliant, especially in attack. Like I say, you've got that intent to drive forward, hurt teams, but you also probably not the best way of looking at it, but you remind me of us under Eddie Howe, which was, well, if you score 3, we'll score 4.
Yeah,
You score 4, we'll score 5. And that's something Slot and the backroom staff will have to work on. In terms of you got that clean sheet against Arsenal, which is fantastic, and hopefully,
yeah,
from your point of view, that you'd be hoping that means that the clean sheets are going to start coming. But yeah, I think you are a little bit there to be got at with that. The high with that high line. If we coming up against that low block, we saw it against, like say, Bournemouth, Newcastle, where they've managed to just get forward and be clinical. So it must be frustrating for you guys to see teams against you scoring, and then you thinking, God, it's like the last 10 minutes of the game and we're now chasing it to try and grab a winner. Why? When we've absolutely tore them a new arsehole for 80 minutes and somehow we
yeah,
sat here at a draw. And, but that's, the best thing about it is you find a way. And
yeah.
I can't deny it. Taking my Burnley glasses away, fair play to you guys. You've absolutely been able to put teams to the sword, so can't complain. Unbeaten, great start for you lot on the route to retaining the Premier League.
Yeah, it's been a very good start. That Arsenal game in particular, we had to be very resolute defensively. I obviously said to you last night as well that we beat Arsenal at their own game. We beat them at a set piece, which still makes me laugh because that's all they did in that game was basically try and get a set piece and try and catch us on the counter. Never did they ever look like scoring. Like I think if I remember, like Kanate and Van Dijk kept Gyökeres quiet. You'll get Arsenal fans saying that Madueke had the better of Kerkez, but every time Madueke tried to get past Kerkez, Kerkez was there to clean up. Martinelli never got a sniff from Sobersley. Sobersley was just unbelievable at right back. And actually, he's been really, really good at it there. Especially with obviously having injuries to Connor Bradley and obviously Frimpong. Both of them are available this weekend, so it's going to be very interesting team selection, I think, on Sunday, because I never like to sort of change a winning team, but Szoboszlai has made that position his own at the moment, and I think he'll obviously have a different sort of challenge, and obviously Jadon Anthony, who obviously plays there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that free kick. I mean, I'm kind of wanting him now to sort of take more free kicks.
Yeah.
Because as I said to you last night, there's obviously that meme going around of that free kick he always seems to score in the international break, and it's against the same team every time. Without fail, it always gets posted. So, I'm just kind of hoping now that when we do some sort of come to an international break, they'll just show the one against Arsenal, because that for me was just an absolute peach. And as you said as well, the ref cam view of it, that was just something else.
Absolutely phenomenal. The way the ref is just sort of stood direct, just look at, and you just see, it's the lean from Szoboszlai as he sort of leans into it, wraps his foot round it, just sweetly. You just see over the wall, absolute perler. I love being able to, I've stood on the pitch at Sunday League level and I've seen someone score a free kick. And when you're a defender and you're watching it from that angle, instead of standing in the wall and then looking back quickly, it's so much different. And it looks like a worldie from where it is. But he's a brilliant player. And the one thing that I will say is in your squad is that there is a lot of players in that team now that have stepped up. We were talking about
Yeah.
Chiesa yesterday as well, that I think once game time starts becoming a bit more fluent for him and not just bits from the bench, he's another player that I think is absolutely massively underrated and is a quality player on his day.
Yeah, we've got match winners now, I think, in our team. Obviously, the only player that's going to be missing from the game. Um, I didn't watch England under 21, so I didn't know that apparently Curtis Jones was injured in the under 21s game, so he's going to be missing this game. Maka has obviously travelled back thousands of miles away in Ecuador. So I think you could see a couple of changes on Sunday. I think potentially we may see maybe Szoboszlai go back to sort of midfield, but it's a really difficult one. And then obviously the big question is obviously Isak. Now we obviously spoke about this last night. I don't expect him to start, but could you see him potentially come from the bench on Sunday?
Yeah, likewise to yourself, watching Scott Parker's press conference, I've seen Slot say that it's, I think fans are going to be expecting Isak to just drop in and be playing, and you've got to ease him into that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he had that cameo appearance for Sweden, and I think what you've got to sort of bleed him into that system. It's not just about, oh yeah, he's got the quality, he's good enough. Make sure that he understands everything that Liverpool represents, everything that, this is the way we play, this is the standard. So I can see him getting a good 10 to 20 minutes, maybe even a change at second half if the game's not going in your favour.
Yeah.
But I can't see him, at least in the next 2 or 3 games, getting a full 90. There may be a game where he starts, but I can see him being changed. And who knows, maybe there'll be that surprise where both Isak and Ekitike can play as a front two.
Yeah, I've seen people maybe sort of pencil in maybe the Southampton Cup game, which I can kind of see. I don't think he starts against Atletico on I think Tuesday or Wednesday. I know it's one of those games. By the way, when on earth has the Champions League been on a Thursday?
Yeah,
I
that's always
can't
been like
certainly remember
Europa League now,
Champions League.
Thursday, and
Yeah,
it's always like Wednesday Champions League, Thursdays like your Europa League and Europa League Conference. Because there was always that talk, wasn't there, that that Man United would be able to watch their games on a Thursday night on the History Channel and things like that. And it's so yeah, that's mad. Champions League's on a Thursday.
But I did check. Apparently, the Europa League starts a week after the Champions League, so
it could eventually go back to the Wednesday, Thursday.
it could easily go back to Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, which it should, because as your old manager used to say, very woke.
Utter woke nonsense.
Utter woke nonsense, as Mr. Deitch would say. Just on Deitch, actually, and I'm quite surprised that he's actually not in football at the moment. I thought he might have been.
Yeah.
But it is still early in the season. Still early in the season for Mr. Deitch, and I think as soon as like a Premier League job potentially comes available, you'll definitely be linked, I would say.
It would not surprise me if he's got potentially a good chance of the West Ham job with the way Graham Potter's situation looking there. It's not looking great. I actually think someone like Sean Dyche would be good for them. Actually, for someone like West Ham, because we saw that David Moyes brought them success with a similar sort of football. But if Dyche can give them still that attacking intent by keeping hold of Bowen, it might be difficult because I think they lose Paqueta next season, don't they? I think he's only here for this year and then he leaves. But who knows? Who knows? It'd be nice to see him back in football, though. Talking the same old
100%.
rugged crap from the touchline as usual. Fine margins.
Fine margins. And then you'll get all the jokes that he has maggots as a diet, or worms
maggots
as a
eating
diet.
gravel before a game.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are your sort of expectations over the season? I know many people, including myself, have obviously predicted you guys to sort of go straight back down. But like, how are you feeling knowing that like all the promoted clubs are now off the mark? I mean, fair play to Sunderland. I mean, they've got 6 points from 9, which is really, really good. And obviously Leeds have got, I think, 4 from 9 so far. Certainly a lot better than the 3 that came up last season.
Definitely. I think there's a fair few teams that will be in and around that bottom 6 bracket. You've got your likes of Brentford that could potentially be in and around it. Fulham, I don't know what they're going to do this year. West Ham look absolutely piss poor. Wolves, they've got their struggles as well. So I hope that I'd like to hope that there's going to be 3 worse teams off than Burnley this year. But I'm the same as you, and I'm a bit of a realist. I can speak with my glasses on and say, yeah, 17th, hands down, we stay up, happy days, kick on from there. But even I've predicted us to go down because I just don't think when you look at the 3 that have come up, I think they've bought better potentially. Maybe Leeds not so much. They've managed to rag a couple of transfers. But I'm actually really looking forward to what we can achieve. Like I said, based on them first 3 games, I think we've given a good account of ourselves, and it can only get stronger with more game time, more team cohesion. But then you could say the same for the other promoted sides. I don't expect it to be a year where all 3 promoted sides get relegated this time round. I think at least 1 out of the 3 will stay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be at least one name in there where we're probably going to be like, very, very unusual potential name to go down. But I think you're right. I think it's I named 6 teams actually that are definitely in this relegation battle. Obviously yourselves, Sunderland, Leeds, and then I think the 3 I said were Brentford, Wolves, and West Ham. I think those are the 6.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's a worrying time for all them sides. because Brentford have the money. I mean, they've not even really spent the Ivan Toney money.
No.
They've got
No,
the
they
money
haven't.
for obviously Buemo, Johan Visa as well. So it's like, what you're doing with it? Are you banking it? Are you waiting for something? I'm surprised they didn't use it as much as they could have done. So they're going to be one of those that we look over our shoulder and keep looking to see whether they're going to be in and around it with us. I just hope, like I say, I hope and pray that we do finish 17th and above. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah.
Your first, no matter what team you are after promotion, no matter whether you're as big as Sunderland who think, yeah, well, we're in there now. We're going to make sure we show Newcastle who's boss. We don't need big fancy money and sports cars and all this crap. We're going to come and finish above you, essentially. They've got an extra motive of Sunderland. And especially with being out of the Prem for a good number of years as well. They've probably got a bit more hunger in the bellies to staying around it. But I hope we can give a good account of ourselves as well. And I hope Leeds carry on to get beat 5-0 every week like they did against Arsenal.
Carl, sorry if you're watching. Yes. Yes, we'll have a good discussion on Monday because there'll probably be lots to discuss. But let me go back into the comments before we go into sort of match lineups. Rennie, this is never going to happen.
Nah, I can't see it.
City can take Pep blinders for as all as I care. They can take Kolo Touré. They certainly ain't getting Jurgen Klopp. I can certainly tell you that for a fact. Dan, thank you for giving us Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah. So Jacob Ramsey's brother.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Aaron Ramsey's been out. He was out again. One of those players that was injured for a very long. Pardon me. I smashed my tea before coming on here, and now I've got hiccups. But yeah, Aaron Ramsey has been. He played in the cup, and I thought he did really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very surprised to see him make a loan move away. But it's the perfect time for him to get, again, similar with Manuel Benson, to get that game time, rebuild his stature as a footballer, play where in the Championship as well, I think it's perfect for him to do that. Due to the physicality of the league, how much, players are in your face, left, right and centre. I think sometimes in the Prem, players can stand off you a little bit, where in the Championship, it's all in your face. You take the hard knocks because there's no VAR you can get away with the odd dark arts in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a good player, and I just hope he does well for you, Rene. To be fair, he's sadly missed at Burnley because I think there's an actual real player in there.
Yeah. Rennie also said, I hope Rio plays when Salah retires. Well, Rio and Gamoa has the world at his feet, and I think they're just trying to keep him steady on the ground and just to work his way up for sure. Big up Andrew Quinn as well. Big up Douglas. Hope you're well, mate. Looking forward to the match on Sunday, then UEFA Champions League game on Wednesday, and then Derby on the 20th. The same day I get to spend the day with my family for my brother's engagement party. Oh, congratulations to your brother. And I hope you have a fabulous day. I meant looking forward to the match on Sunday. Yeah. Just imagine if Sunderland wins against Newcastle in the future. Be honest, it could easily happen. It could easily happen. Oh, look who's here. Speaking of Leicester fans, hello, Mr. Anthony. As long as he's better than Ollie Skip, I'll love him. So there you go.
He is. He's quality.
Yes. So, but no, and hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. And yeah, good luck tomorrow against Oxford United. And I know there's
should be there.
They should. I know there's one game already happening tonight. Ipswich are playing Sheffield United.
Yeah, I need to check that actually. I've got them on my football bet. They're 1-0 up at half time, or Ipswich. Ipswich are 1-0 up. I have a treble on at Marseille to beat Lorraine, Ipswich to beat Sheffield United, and Sevilla to beat Elche. And they're all winning. So looks like at the moment I could be coming into a bit of money. Not much. It's only for a tenner. I had a £1 free bet. But
fair play.
It's a tenner I did not
play.
have. As long as I have the same sort of luck on Sunday, I'll be very happy.
Yeah. Andrew Quinn says the last time someone beat Newcastle, they had Fabio Borini. If you're talking about the game that had Fabio Borini scoring the winner, I was there. I was actually there. I actually, believe it or not, it was just one of those games where you're like my dad's sort of used to get sort of tickets through the Premier League website, and he managed to get 2 tickets for Sunderland Newcastle, and I thought, oh wow, here we go. This is some game to be at. For Fabio Borini, an ex-Liverpool player, to score the winner, it was quite incredible. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that was Gus Poyet's first game in charge of Sunderland. I think it was that season. So yeah, that was some game. That just shows how long ago that was. Yeah, absolutely. And Ant says, hope we are both well.
Living the
well.
dream,
Sheffield United, by the way. Sheffield United, by the way. This would be their 6th defeat in a row.
Something's wrong with Ruben Sellers.
Yeah, honestly. I think that was a disastrous appointment. Sorry, we are going off a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, I thought it was a very strange appointment at the time, and
I'm not sure if I've crashed.
We'll see what happens.
Crashed.
Oh,
help me out in the chat. Have I crashed or has Doug crashed? Am I moving?
You're moving, yeah. Yeah, you're moving. You're definitely moving. You're definitely moving. I'm moving as well. That's unbelievable. Oh, Dan is gone. I think his internet connection had gone there, but no, he'll come back. He'll come back. They had that unbelievable player Sunderland. I can't remember what his name was. Oh, I know the one you mean because I think he scored against us that season. Giaccherini. I think that's a name that's ringing my bell, Andrew. I think it was Giaccherini. To be fair, Sunderland did have a lot of good Italian players on there. Dan's crashed again. Oh no, don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened then. I don't know. Like it looked like your camera had crashed and mine were moving, but it says my internet was strong, and then all of a sudden about 6 or 7 messages came through, and I was just like, but I've just seen them 6 messages. What the heck's going on?
Very strange.
Internet up north. Internet up north, people. I mean, Doug, you're further north than me.
Yeah, I am further north than you. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, we've gone on a bit of a tangent, so apologies, people. Match lineups. What is your starting 11 for Sunday's game?
I expect a couple of changes due to internationals, but I still expect some of the internationals to be in and around it. So I'm going to say Dubravka in goal. I really don't know whether we're going to go back 5 like we did against Spurs, or it's going to be a back 3 again, like similar setup to the United game. I liked the way we set up against United, so I'm going to go with that. So a back 3 of Kyle Walker, probably Yalmar Ekdal and Maxime Esteve.
Yeah.
Then a midfield 4 of Jakob Brun-Larsen, Leslie Ukachukwu, Josh Cullen, and Jadon Anthony, with Hannibal just playing behind. Because I don't see Florentino Luis starting. I think again he'll be someone who comes off the bench maybe. If he does start, then it's potentially due to the fact that Ugachuk was just come back from, France's national duty.
Yeah.
But up top, who'd I put up top? Probably Foster. I can't drop Foster. I think if any Burnley fans watch this back, the one thing I want to say to Burnley fans is they slated him during the championship season. This is a guy who caught it a barn door, and things like that, and he'd miss opportunities and sitters from 2 yards. But this is a guy who's just gone through a lot of mental health problems and stuff, and you may get those moments where sometimes you can think too much in those moments. The ball's right there;
Yeah.
it's on a plate for you, but then you're like, "Oh, I can just put this in." But then part of you's like, "Well, but the keeper's rushing, so do I put it that way?" It goes madness. It goes madness. So I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm going to say Lyle Foster for me is the one who gets himself in and around that starting 11.
Right.
I'm guessing my internet's gone down again.
You're okay, my end so far. You're okay, my end so far. Oh, he's gone. No doubt he'll be back. No doubt he'll be back. So my lineup for Sunday, Alisson Becker in goal. I mean, to be fair, Alisson has travelled back a wee bit long as well with McAllister. So, is there a chance Mamadashvili maybe plays? I can't see it. I think it'll be Alisson Becker in goal. This is where it gets interesting. Obviously, no Curtis Jones on Sunday, and also there is no well, no, the only one I think that's not in our team at the moment is Curtis Jones. So, Alisson in goal. I really want to put Soboslai I really want to put Soboslai at right back, but I think he could change it. So I think he'll put Bradley at right back, and I think it'll be Kerkez at left back, and then it'll be Van Dijk and Konate. Then I think, as much as McAllister's been sort of eased back in, I could see him being on the bench and potentially playing against Atletico Madrid. So I think it'll be Gravenberch and Soboslai as the two in midfield. And then Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, Wirtz down the middle, and then Ekitike up front for the game on Sunday. And then obviously on the bench you'd have, this is probably going to be our strongest bench for a number of years. You'll probably have it'll be Marmadashvili, it'll be Frimpong, it'll be Robertson, it'll be Gomez, Chiesa. You probably have Isaac there. You probably have Ingamoa there. Leone. The options there are just frightening, to say the very very least. So I'm very very excited with the attacking prowess that we've got. So score prediction, Dan. What are you going to go for?
I suppose I better get it in before it kicks me out again. You know what? I'd obviously be happy to take a point. I do think we'll get beat though. I think we'll lose 2-0. But personally, anything better than that is a plus.
Funny you say 2-0. That's my prediction as well. I was thinking 2-0. It's just whether or not you get the chances that you obviously got against Sunderland, against Manchester United, against sort of Tottenham. It's whether or not you can sort of take those, and it'll be interesting to see sort of what we'll be able to sort of deal with. It'll be interesting to see how well you guys sort of contain sort of Florian Wirtz, because I think I said it to you last night. As soon as Florian Wirtz explodes, he is just going to be completely unstoppable because he is some player. Obviously, the free kick against Northern Ireland the other night was unbelievable. Was to tell you the very very truth. So yeah, I think it's going to be a key of the midfield battle for me. And it's whether or not who sort of goes up on top. Set pieces could be interesting as well. And I know I know I've seen Newcastle fans say, "Oh, if Liverpool lose to Burnley, then they'll know who to blame because Michael Oliver's the referee on Sunday."
Yeah.
So I'm not taking any sort of notice from Newcastle fans. You know, they're trying to create this little rivalry with Liverpool, and it's quite pathetic, to be honest. It's obviously all what's happened with obviously the Isak saga. Um,
Yeah.
and look, I think it's going to be a very very interesting game on Sunday, and hopefully they hopefully for a very very good game, and yeah, obviously for your sake, are you going to the game on Sunday, or are you
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
watch along?
Yeah, no, I'll be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
Oh well, I'm sure you will
Crying into my
enjoy.
hands.
But let me just go into the chat very very quickly. Hey Jordan Hyman, hope you're well. And Sebastian's going 3-1, so you don't see a clean sheet, Sebastian. Wouldn't be surprising, especially with our backline. Anyway, Dan, it has been an absolute pleasure to get you back on the channel, my friend. And yeah, obviously, before Sunday and after Sunday, obviously, good luck for the rest of the season. I really hope you give a good account of yourselves. I think it'll be nice to see do well, and obviously with the other two as well, Sunderland and Leeds. I mean, you've already beaten the task set upon by the last three winning the game before October. So Sunderland obviously won two, you've won one, Leeds have won one. So yeah, 4 wins between you. So that's a very very good start. Anyway, but yeah, before I let you go, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, if I'm not in your local skip, I am usually on social media. But yeah, just at Turf Moorhouse TV or at Turf Moorhouse, as you can see under my name there. And I just do a lot of Burnley content. If I wasn't going to the game, I would have done a watch along. And I'm sure, it would have been nice to have, both sets of fans in the chat and just chinwagging. I'm not one of those sort of fans who will scream penalty because I've got claret glasses on. If I don't think it is, I don't think it is. I'd like to be open and honest. But no, good luck for the season. And like Sebastian's comment, if it is going to be a Canate on goal, where have we seen that before? Jimmy Traore. Yes.
Oh God. You had to remind me of Jimmy Traore. You had to remind me of that.
Oh,
I
you can't
still,
beat it when he goes dancing round back of Jersey Dudek. I mean, yeah, perfect.
God's sake. I think that was the same season we won the UEFA Champions League as well in Istanbul. I think it was that same season. Good God, Jimmy Traore, still a Champions League winner. How he could become a Champions League winner, I'll never know. But anyway,
Thank you for
enough
having me, though,
about.
mate. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, and it's good to get together. And if you are doing a review show, then like I say, give me a shout, and I'm free whenever you need me.
Yeah, absolutely. Or we'll get you on our Premier League the 20 podcast, which is
Yeah.
obviously talking about the Premier League.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll get you on that at some point as well. I think that's on Monday at 7 o'clock. So
Nice.
I'll message you after the game on Sunday, and yeah, we could potentially get you on, which would be fantastic. We've actually got Rich from Red Devil United. He's
Yeah.
coming on as well. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so looking forward to that as well. But no, thank you very much for coming on, Dan. Dan's channel link is actually in the title of this video, so please just click it and just press the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps his channel to obviously get more subscribers as well. But big thanks to Dan for coming on. Big thank you to everyone who's watched. Please do hit the like button on both my channel and Dan's channel as well, and also do hit that subscribe button as well. But if you have missed this, then obviously watch it on the replay. Let us know your starting 11, both Liverpool and Burnley fans. Let us know your starting 11, and also let me know your score prediction for the game as well. And please be nice in the comments. I've been having a few wee comments recently, like Money Pool FC. Like seriously, if you knew about our finances, then you'd probably be like a financial advisor. You would know what you'd be talking yourselves into. So yeah, no more Money Pool FC or anything like that. So no, please do that as well. But from myself and Dan, we will see you very very soon. And yeah, let's hope for a very good game on Sunday. But until then, goodbye from the both of us. Take care. Bye bye for now.